how are you all? Welcome everyone to the first class of this new year, 2026. I'm Mary, and it's a pleasure for me to share this new tutorial with you. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so YouTube will let you know every time we upload a new video tutorial. Every week, I'll be sharing tutorials with you on trending designs. So if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. For this first class, I wanted to share with you a design that every one of us should have at home. It's this summer-style bag, which is perfect for the beach, pool, or outdoor outings. It's a very beautiful model, quite spacious, with a modern design, easy to make, and something we all should have. We will be making it using very simple stitches, such as single crochet, double crochet, and chain stitch. I'll show you all the details. Look at how beautiful this bag is. Let's make the pocket. Look how spacious the inside of the bag is. See how roomy it is. The base is quite firm. Look at the stitch pattern, how beautiful it is. And the back part. It's a very easy bag to make. Beautiful, affordable, and I hope you give it a try. Now we'll continue with the list of materials, followed by the step-by-step instructions. These are the materials we'll be working with: scissors, measuring tape, a stitch marker, and a personalized tag with the channel's name. This last one is optional. A 5mm knitting needle. This will be our main needle. A 3.5mm knitting needle, we'll use this one to weave in the ends. For the t-shirt yarn, we'll be using a skein of about 1 kilogram. This t-shirt yarn of mine is a double feather extra twisted yarn with a very lightweight strand that's 2 centimeters wide. We're going to start by working on the base. We'll make it using single crochet stitches. It's going to be a rectangular base, very simple and very easy to make. If you want to replace this base with an oval base using centered stitch, you can do that, or if you want, you can also replace the base with a leather base. So here we're going to start by making a slip stitch. And we'll crochet 8 chains plus 1 for height, making a total of 9 chains. Here we have a loop on the hook. We yarn over and slip through, loop on the hook, yarn over, and slip through. This way, we'll keep making chains until we reach number 9. Complete the 9 chains. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these are 6 centimeters long. Now, we're going to make single crochet. Turn the chain and we'll be working on the back, where the bumps are. Here. We make the first stitch under the second bump, because the first one is the turning chain. We go underneath, yarn over, bring it up to the height of the loop that's on the hook, yarn over again, and pull through both loops. We've made our first single crochet. Now go under the next one. Yarn over, bring it up, and here we make the second stitch. Under the next one. Keep going like this until the last ridge. We reach the last ridge, pass the needle underneath, and here we make the last stitch. We finish this first round, and here we work a total of 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to make a turning chain and turn the piece. For the second round, we're going to insert the hook under the second chain. We're going to take the whole chain, here. We go underneath, yarn over, do the same process. Here we make the first stitch, then go under the next one. Continue like this until all 8 stitches are done. You can see the second row. Here, we make a turning chain, turn the piece, and we're going to work the third row. We go under the second chain, and here we make the first stitch. We continue until the end. We reach the last stitch, go under the chain, and make a single crochet. We make a turning chain and turn the work. And this way, we will continue working the rows until we reach row 28, or until we reach the desired height. I've already completed the height. This is how the base is looking. I worked a total of 28 rows. Checklist. Identify redundant or lengthy number listing. Use concise number ranges. Preserve all numbers mentioned. Maintain original order and meaning. Here we count 1 through 20, then 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. So far, the length is 23 centimeters, and the width is 7.5 centimeters. If you want to make the base a little longer, just keep working the rows here until you reach the desired length. And if you want it wider, at the beginning you make more chains. Now, we're going to continue by making a round of single crochet around the base to give it the final finish. We stop at the last stitch and make a turning chain. We place a marker here to know that's where we started the round. Now, we make the first stitch right here under the chain. On this side, we'll work the stitches. Right here, where the small ridge is. Here, where the ridge is, and here where you see the strand. Here. The stitches go here. On top, there are 2 strands. And where the little bump is? Here, we pass the needle under the little bump and make the stitch right here. Under both strands. Under the little bump. We're making the last stitch here where the bumps are. See, there's a strand. We finish the stitches on this side, making a total of 27, not counting the first stitch, because that one is part of this side. So from this point all along the edge, we make 27 stitches. Now we'll work the stitches on this side. Here in the first chain, we're going to make an increase, and also here in the last one, we'll be making the increases here. We start the first one here, and we'll make the next one over here. So here we insert the needle. We yarn over and make the first stitch. We make a turning chain, insert the needle again under that chain, and make the next stitch. Here we work an increase of 3 stitches, because we count the turning chain as 1 stitch. So we have 1, 2, and 3. This is to give an oval shape to the corner of the base. So here, where the chains are, we're going to make 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the last one, the increase. we make the increase. Chain for height, we pass the needle through again and make the last stitch. Here, we see an increase of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to work on the sides, and we need to make a total of 27 stitches, just like we did on this side. We start counting from this stitch. Look, it's the same one we made here. And this one here goes the next one. So, what are you going to do? You're going to take into account, look here, where the little bumps are. On top, there are 2 strands. This is where you make the stitch. Here, where the little bumps are, is the next row, and here is the next one. You continue here. You're going to guide yourself by how you did it on this side. Under the little bump, I make a stitch, and under the 2 strands, I make the next one. We're going to take this opportunity to hide the leftover strand, and we pass it through and make the first stitch. Under the little bump, the next one. Here, beneath the 2 strands. Under the little bump. We continue until we complete the 27 stitches. I finished the 27 stitches. Now let's work the last ones on this side. Here in the first chain, we make the increase. Turning chain. Now we make the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. We work 6 stitches. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we've reached the stitch where we made the first one. Here we have 2 stitches. Look, here's the first stitch in the turning chain we made, which is where the marker is. To complete the 3, we insert the needle into that same space and make the stitch. With this, we complete the 3 stitches. Let's do the closing. We remove the marker, insert the needle under that chain. We yarn over. And here we slip. We make a chain stitch. We place the marker here again. And we have already finished our base. Here we make a total of 78 stitches. We work 27 stitches on the sides. In each corner, we make an increase of 3 stitches. And here we work 6 and 6 stitches. I'm going to give you the final measurements. In length, it ended up being 25 centimeters. And in width, 9 centimeters. We've finished our base. It's a quick base, easy to make, and with a very good structure. Look how it turned out. The stitches are well organized. Now we're going to work a round of single crochet to start building up the body of the bag. And we're going to do this by inserting the needle into the center of the chain to separate the base from the body. We insert the needle here in the center of the chain, taking the top loop and the little ridge that's on the back. The top loop. And the little ridge. We're going to do this in the center of each of the chains and on the little ridges that are on the back. We go through the center and in the back on the little ridge. We make the first point here in the next one. We continue the process all along the edge without making any increases, until we get here, to the point before the marker. We're making the final stitch. Look, here at the back is the last little ridge. We don't work in this next chain because it's the chain where we made the stitch and placed the marker. Look where it is. So here we make the last stitch. We finish this round. Here we adjust. Look how you can already see the increase. And we divide the base of the body. Look how this strand looks. Here we have made a total of 78 stitches, counting the closing stitch. So here we are going to remove the marker. We give height to this little ear. We pass the needle under the first complete chain. Look, this is where we had the marker, and the first chain is this one, the one next to it. We go from back to front, place the reserved little ear on the needle, and move it to the back. We tighten it very well. Let's start the next round, and we're also going to do this one with single crochets. We pass the needle under the strand we brought to the back. Look here. We place the reserved ear, tighten the stitch a little, yarn over and lift up. We have the ear on the hook, yarn over and make the first stitch. Now we're going to pass the needle under the entire chain. We're not going to take just one strand anymore. Look, here it is. We go underneath and make a stitch. Under the next one, we raise it to the level of the little loop that's on the hook and close the stitch. We continue the process all along the edge, under each chain, until we get here to this last one. I've completed the round. Now let's make the last stitch here. We raise this little loop and pass the needle under the first chain. Here we've already finished off, and this is how our second round of increases looks. See how the piece is taking shape. Now we're going to start the third round, and we're going to do this one with double crochet stitches. So we pass the needle under the strand that we've brought to the back. We yarn over. And here we're going to work 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. In the third one, we're going to place the marker. And we make 1 additional chain. So in total, we make 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. What are we going to do now? We're going to work double crochets, always skipping 1 stitch. We pass the hook under the second chain, leaving this one free. We make the double crochet here, skip the next one, and make the double crochet here. We yarn over. We count 1, and in the second one, we go under the whole chain. Yarn over, lift it up a little, yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops. We have 2 loops left on the hook, yarn over, and here we finish the stitch. To make the next stitch, here we do a chain stitch in the air, which is the stitch that will complement the one we skipped. So here we have a chain stitch in the air. We yarn over and skip the next stitch. We go under the next chain. We do a double crochet. We make a chain stitch and skip to the next chain. Count 1, then double crochet in the next. We make a chain stitch, count 1, and in the second one, we make a double crochet. Look how it's turning out, always leaving a space, and we cover this space on top with the chain stitch. Yarn over, skip a chain, and double crochet in the next chain. We repeat the pattern along the edge until we reach the last one. We'll do the last double crochet. We yarn over, skip one chain, and work into the next one. We make a turning chain. And here, look, we have one chain left because we worked into the next one here, so there will always be a space left here. If you have more than one space left, check that you have done the whole process correctly. You always make a double crochet, space, double crochet, space. That's how it should look. And you should keep in mind that when making the double crochet, you should always make a chain stitch in the air. So always check before starting the next row that you have done this row correctly. Because sometimes, when you're crocheting very quickly, you forget to make the chain stitch in the air and just do double crochet after double crochet, and that way the piece will start to close up. So always make sure that you have done the process correctly. So now we're going to close the round here. We remove the marker, and right there, in that chain stitch, we'll make the closure. Look, we already have a chain stitch in the air here. We go underneath. We yarn over and slip here. We make 3 chain stitches. 1, 2, and 3. We mark the third one. So with this, we simulate the first stitch, and here in the 4th stitch is the tall stitch. So here we finish the first round. Look how the piece is turning out. Here we make a total of 39 double crochets, counting the starting stitch. So this is how your piece will look. Mary, it's curling up a little. It's normal for it to look like this, but every time you finish a row, make sure to arrange the stitches and adjust it like this. See how it settles a little more here. As you continue, the piece will start to take its shape. So now we're going to do the second row here. We have a chain stitch in the air, we yarn over, and here we're going to make the double crochet right on top of the double crochet from the previous row. We pass the needle over the chain that's on the double crochet. And we skip the next one and work here. We yarn over, pass underneath, and we make the first double crochet. Chain stitch. We're making the final stitch. Chain stitch, and here we make the closure. The closure will be the same in every round. We remove the marker, pass the needle under the chain stitch. We yarn over and slip here. We make 3 chain stitches, 1, 2, and 3. We place the marker. We make the 4th one, the chain stitch in the air. So here we yarn over, and we're going to continue repeating the same process. Double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous row, chain stitch in the air, double crochet, chain stitch in the air. This way, you should follow the sequence all along the edge of the piece. When you get here, close the round the same way I already explained to you and open it like this. Continue repeating the process of rounds until you reach the desired height. I'm going to keep working on the sequence, and then I'll show you what height and how many rounds we'll use to finish this pattern. I finished the bag's height. Here's the fabric with double crochet. Here I worked 12 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's the bag's interior. The sides. The base. For the height, we have 21 centimeters. If you want the bag to be taller, you keep working the rounds with double crochet. Now, we're going to close the last round and work 2 rounds with single crochet to start making what will be the handles. We position ourselves here where the marker is and remove it. We're under the chain and make a slip stitch. We work a single crochet and place the marker again. And here in the space, we make a single crochet. Single crochet on top of the double crochet. In the space, single crochet. On top of the double crochet, we make a single crochet. We work along the edge until reaching the stitch before the marker. I'm at the stitch before the marker. This is how our single crochet round looks. We're going to finish off here. Notice that we're still working with the number 5 hook. What I did was switch to a rubber one. What we're going to do here is make the last stitch under the chain. We add some height to the ear, then remove the marker. We'll pass the ear under the first complete chain, right next to it. That's the body of the first stitch. And we grab the yarn and go backwards. And here, under the yarn we've taken to the back, we pass the needle through and place the reserved ear on the needle. We slightly adjust the stitch. And we make the first stitch of the second row. We go under the chain. We're making the final stitch. See how our 2 rounds went. Here we make the closure, give height to this little ear, and go under the first chain. We go under the strand that we brought to the back. And here we open with a stitch. Now we're going to make the cuffs, and I've already placed the markers here. I'll explain how you should do it. You're going to take the bag, organize it very well, and make sure it's nicely arranged. We ensure the base is straight. We organize it this way. Here, see how the little mouth is even now, and we have one point facing the other. What did I do after closing it? Put 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and place a marker. Here, it depends on the distance you want to leave a handle from one end to the other. If you want it further in, then here you choose how many points you want to leave in the center. In this case, I left 18 stitches. I placed the marker and counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I placed the marker on stitch 19. So, from this marker to the next marker, here in this space, I left 21 stitches. After the marker, I left 18 stitches. And from this marker to this one again, here I left 21 stitches. This depends on the size you want to make the bag. You choose the distance you want to leave from one end to the other. Here we had already made the first stitch. Now we're going to work single crochet until we reach the stitch where the marker is. Reach the marker, then remove it. Make a stitch here and start working the chains. I finished the chains. Here I made 45, and it ended up being 30 centimeters long. If you want to make the handle a little taller, just keep making chains here until you reach the desired length. Here we remove the marker, we go underneath, and we make a stitch. We move on to the next one. We start with a single crochet. So here we work single crochet until we complete the 21 stitches, reaching the stitch where the marker is. I reach the stitch before the marker, and with this one, I complete the 21 stitches on this side. So here we remove it. We make the stitch and work the 45 chains here. I finish the 45 chains on this side. When you finish it, take the measurement and make sure it's the same length as the previous handle. And we start stitching. And we're going to complete single crochets here until we get here to finish off. We finish off. We start with a single crochet. And here we'll make a stitch under each chain until we reach the first stitch of the handle. We've reached that first stitch. We make a single crochet here. And now on the handle, we're going to work on the back part of the chain where the bumps are, right here. We pass the needle under the first one. We make a single crochet under the next one. We are going to continue making one stitch under each ridge until we get here to the last one. We've reached the last chain. Here on the back, look where the ridge is. We go underneath and make a single crochet here. Let's neatly arrange the bracelet here. And here we start where the first stitch is. Look right here on top. See where the chain is? We go underneath. And we make a stitch here. Under the chain. This way, we will continue making single crochet stitches under each chain until we reach the last stitch before starting the handle. At the last stitch, make a single crochet. Now we're going to work single crochet. Here, in the little bumps of the chain, we go under the first one. We're going to do the same process we did on the other side, one stitch under each bump until we reach the last one. I finished stitching this bracelet. Let's do the last one. With this, we complete 44 stitches in total. Look how it looks. Now, we're going to work single crochet on this side. We start here. In the first stitch, we find the chain. Look here. We make a single crochet there. We keep working one single crochet into each chain until we arrive to close this. We arrive here at the last stitch. Now we're going to make the closure. We cut the yarn. We pull it out. And we pass the needle under the first chain. We return the yarn. We'll make an invisible join to simulate a chain. We pass the needle through the center of the last chain, from back to front, also under this little ridge. Here. We place the yarn and take it to the back. Look how the chain turned out. Here, what we need to do is tighten it until it's the same size as the other chains, and see how the join is very well hidden. So, here we take the leftover yarn and hide it under the stitches. I'll use a smaller needle now. We cut here, but before that, you can put a drop of silicone on the tip or make a small stitch so the yarn doesn't come loose. We cut. And here we hide the tip. I finished the sleeves. This is how they turned out. If you want them longer, you know it's optional, you can also make them longer. This is how the bag is turning out. Now, we're going to work on a small pocket. I've already placed the markers here. To do this, you need to keep in mind the distance, leaving the same amount on each side. Here, I measured and left 6 centimeters. On this side, it's also 6 centimeters. The pocket should be centered, so I placed the marker between the 2 double crochets. Same here on this side. That's where we're going to start the sewing. I'll show you how to do it, so you can have a clear idea of how the pocket will look and adjust the size. If you don't want it smaller, if you want it bigger, you can use a sheet of paper to help. I cut out the size I more or less wanted the pocket to be for the bag. For me, this is the right size. If you want the pocket smaller, wider, or longer, you can use this method as a guide. The pocket should look more or less like this. Now we're going to start sewing. Place the bag with the handles facing up. And here where the marker is, see that it's on the first strand? We remove it and pass the needle through that strand. We take a strand, leaving a small piece hidden. Now we'll make 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. We place the marker here, and we're going to make an additional chain to give it some space. So, where are we going to make the double crochet? We're going to do it between the 2 double crochets, right here in the strand that's in the center. We're only going to take the little strand that's on the top. Okay, let me show you better right there. Look, here are the 2 double crochets. We'll take the top strand. Here they are. We take this strand between the 2 stitches. We place the yarn on the hook. We go underneath and make a double crochet here. We make a chain stitch in the air. Yarn over and double crochet in the next stitch. Chain stitch in the air. We reach the stitch where the marker is. We remove it. We make a double crochet there. Here we make 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. In the third one, we place the marker again. And here we make the turning chain or chain stitch. This is how we finished the first round here. And look how it turned out. You can see the double crochets. Now we pull the piece. We yarn over, and right there in the chain that's on top of the double crochet, we make another double crochet. It's the same process we used for the bag. See, here is the double crochet, and on top we make a double crochet. Chain in the air. Double crochet, chain in the air, double crochet. Double crochet. Chain in the air, yarn over. Double crochet. Chain in the air. Here's how the fabric looks. We keep working until we reach the point where the marker is. We've reached the point where the marker is. Here I made a double crochet. We're going to make a chain stitch in the air. We removed the marker, and in this chain we're going to make the double crochet here. We chain 3 stitches. We place a marker on the third one and make the turning chain. We stretch the piece, yarn over, and start here working a double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet, chain stitch. This is the same process we will continue doing until we reach the height you want for the pocket. I finished the height of the pocket. I did a total of 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to leave it this size because I want these last 2 rows of double crochet to remain free. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to work a row with single crochet, combining single crochet and chain stitch. So we position ourselves in the last stitch, and here we finish with double crochet. We're going to make 2 chains. And we're going to pass the hook through. Look, here we have the space of the chain in the air, and here is the double crochet. We insert the hook through the stitch chain. We single crochet here. Chain stitch in the air. On top of the double crochet, single crochet, chain stitch in the air. Single crochet on the double crochet. We continue the sequence. We are going to make the stitch here where the marker is. We make a chain stitch and do a single crochet here. We finished the edge of the pocket, and look how it turned out. We'll cut the yarn, since we'll sew with it too. We cut, make a chain stitch, and pull through. We're going to do the sewing with a yarn needle, and we'll do it using the wraparound method. We take the piece and position ourselves between the two stitches where we finished the round of double crochet. Look, right here, between these two stitches, is where we started. Okay, we're going to take the row of double crochet that's in front, before the pocket, this one. And here we're going to take the row of double crochet that's after where we finish the pocket. Make sure to arrange the piece very well. So we position ourselves here, and we're going to work on this part. Making the stitch here. Here, we're only going to pick up the loops that are on the top part. And here on the pocket, only the loops that are on the top part. Done. We pass the needle underneath. And we pass it here. Under this strand and the one on top. We're going to take the top strand, which is in the back, and the one that's right in front. Here, we're going to pass the needle through the back. We turn the piece over here. And here you can hide the thread, or we're going to secure it so it doesn't come loose. We pass it underneath here. What are we going to do here? We're going to make a little knot. We pass it under and cut here. For the second stitch, I'm going to show you how to start. Here, I already have the needle threaded. You pass underneath the strand that's on the top stitch, the very first one and the one that's in front. Leave a little piece of thread to finish off at the end, and here you're going to go up to the strand that's on top. Go through the one in front. Tighten the seam very well. Go up and go through the one that's in front. Tighten it very well. And here, you should have the piece positioned so that the path fits up to where the marker is. I finished the stitching. Now let's make the last stitch here. We remove the marker. We pass the needle under the strand. And here in front, where the first stitch is, under this one and under the chain. There. We tighten it very well. We're going to hide the yarn. We go under this one that's on top, here, and take it to the back. I finished the whole process of the bag. I'm going to show you how the pocket seam turned out. Look on this side. Here, and inside, I'll show you how spacious it turned out. I also took the opportunity to add the personalized tag. If you're interested, in the video description, I'll leave you the link to the purchase page for your online store, your supplies. The width of the pocket ended up being 18.5 centimeters. In height, 13 centimeters. The bag ended up being 23 centimeters wide. At the top, it ended up being 33 centimeters. In the bag's center, it ended up being 29 centimeters, and the bag ended up weighing 530 grams. That is the total amount of material I used throughout the whole process. And if you're wondering, Mary, can I work on this project with another material? Of course you can. You can use whatever material you have available. What you need to keep in mind are the measurements, because these will vary depending on the thickness. I'm going to show you all the details of the bag, how spacious it is inside. Look how it looks, how firm the base turned out. Look how the weave turned out. How pretty. You can keep your sunscreen in the pocket. You can put some glasses here. Look how nice it looks. And there's still room for you to keep a wallet, your keys too. Inside here, you have the option to store many more things. It's a comfortable, quick, affordable bag and very easy to make. Look how beautiful it is. I hope you enjoyed the whole process and that you put it into practice. If so, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. This may seem insignificant, but it motivates me to keep sharing these beautiful tutorials with you every week. See you in the next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.